Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss the encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. Okay? Here, encapsulation is very important features of the object oriented programming. Okay? And everybody knows that what is the object. Okay? And the object has two things, that is the state or the data, and the behavior, that is nothing but the method. Okay, now actually this data and method, combination of data and method is make a object. Okay, so object has existence due to data and the method. Okay, another thing that we access and manipulate the data, this we have to access and manipulate the data of any object by using its method or functions. Okay, so to use or to access or to manipulate the data, we need a method. How? Just to look at here. Suppose in a program we have a calculate method. Okay, and the object is my student, and the student object having roll number, name, mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. So we want to find out the total mark. Okay, total mark. What we want to find out? Total mark. So this total mark method, total mark has to be calculated by the calculate method, and that needs the data, that is roll number, name, mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3. So this data has to be accessed through whom? The calculate method. This data are manipulated through what? The calculate method. Okay, so this calculate method use this number of data of a student object. Okay, now see what encapsulation means, how encapsulation work here. Okay, what is the meaning of this principle encapsulation? Okay, so encapsulation is the technique of binding both the data and the functions or method together and to keep them safe inside a container, that is nothing but the class, and to prevent from unauthorized access and misuse. Okay, so what encapsulation does? Encapsulation binding the data and method together and keep them in a class and ensure that a user cannot access the data directly without using proper method. Okay, so encapsulation ensure that a user cannot access the data without using proper functions or method. Okay, it also ensures that the user can only access those method, access only those functions for which he granted a permissions. Okay, so while other functions remain untouched for which he has not given a permissions. Okay, so what it means, the permissions, or it can access only those method which he got a permission or granted a permission. What it means? What it means that it is keep it safe in a containerized class. Now we can see from an example, we can understand how encapsulation prevent from unauthorized access or stop the misuse. Okay, or again it ensure that the functions or method can be accessed by the user for which he got a permission. The other remain function will be untouched for which he has not given any permissions. Okay, just look at here the ATM machine and a person having a ATM card. What he does in the ATM machine, he can see his own account balance and he can withdraw or deposit the money. He can change the password of his own. He cannot see other person account balance or change the PIN. Okay, so encapsulation isolate the data from a user with the aid of the functions. Now another thing, the ATM card holder only can see the account balance and change the PIN, but he cannot open or close the account. Only the bank employee can does through the proper functions. Okay, so encapsulation does what? It is hide the data or protect the data from the unauthorized user. Okay, now in the object oriented programming, how encapsulation work? So what it means again, it is wrapping the data and function and prevent them from unauthorized access. From whom? From the other class, from the other method. It is protect their data, and the data and method can be, how it can be protected? By certain access specifier. This access specifier we will discuss in some other chapter. That access specifier, just little bit I am going to say you about the access specifier. There are three access specifier: public, private and protected. So public is accessed by all, and protected and private, it is prevent the data from unauthorized access. Okay, so if you make the data or method private and protected, then other class and other method cannot access. Now just think about the abstractions. What abstraction does? It's include the essential feature and exclude or hide the background details. Okay, abstraction and encapsulations are complementary concept. Abstractions only include the essential method, which will be only required for an object, and the encapsulation implement that method. Okay, how the encapsulation implement the data abstractions? By hiding the details of implementation of an object. Okay, so such way both are interrelated, the abstraction and the encapsulation. Conclusion we are getting from here: the encapsulation wrapping the data and method in one unit and placed in a safe place, that is the class. Okay, and it will be prevent the data and method from unauthorized access and protect them from the misuse. Okay. Before going to the inheritance definition, we discuss some example from where you can clear, then we about the concept, and then we see the definition, what it wants to say you. Okay. You know the word heredity. Okay, so it refers to the process of inheriting the certain characteristic of a parents to his child. Just like you, if a child is walking very fast, then we can say his father also walking very fast, so this child is getting it in heredity. Okay, I have a blood pressure, so I got the blood pressure in heredity because my mother having the blood pressure. Okay, so heredity means acquiring certain characteristic from the parents. Okay, another way also we can say, suppose the property of a father, where it has to go? Definitely it goes to after the father. This property, in property, who have a rights? His child have a rights. Okay, so all the property of a father is transferred to his child. Okay, so it is means the child don't have to do anything. So his right is he is bound to get all the property of his father. Okay, so it is automatically transferred. Okay, so this concept implement here inheritance. Okay, so inheritance is a property in which a new class acquires the properties of an existing class. Okay, or we can say the property from a properties of a parent class transferred to a child class. So what does it means properties? Okay, that word we have to discuss. Now look at the inheritance. So inheritance is the property in which a new class acquires the properties of an existing class, and this property bring the concept of object oriented programming that is closer to our life. It's reflect the life concept of heredity. Already I told you what is the meaning of heredity. That means कुछ हैबिट अपने पेरेंट्स का बच्चों में आ जाना, उसे हम हेरिडिटी कहते हैं. कोई डिजीज हो, है कोई हैबिट हो, वो सारे जो पेरेंट्स से चाइल्ड को ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, तो हम उसे कहते हैं हेरिडिटी में मिला है. ओके, तो here what happen in the object oriented programming, क्या होता है, one program may contain more than one class. Okay, so a new class inherits the property of an existing class. That means already a class is there and it creates another class. Then the first class is known as the parent class and the new class is known as the child class. So the parent class transfer all the properties to the child class. Okay, just look at here again. So the parent class, a class is derived from an existing class. So existing class is the parent class, that is called as a base class, okay, or super class. But the class which derived from the base class or super class, that is known as derived class. So a class derived from an existing class is called subclass or derived class, and from where it is derived, that subclass is called that is called as super class or base class. So a subclass have one base, but the base class have so many सब classes. Means एक parent का बहुत सारे child हो सकता है, but एक child का एक ही parents हो सकते हैं. Okay, so in Java, when the single inheritance is allowed, okay, we don't go for the multiple inheritance here. Okay, one base class, that is only one base class, and can be so many derived class. Okay. Now another thing here, from the diagram you can see, if I am seeing class A is the base class or super class, it has a two derived class B and class C. So whatever the properties of class A, it will be transferred to the class B and class C. One point you remember, the properties of class A will be transferred to the B and C, but the properties of B and C will be not transferred to the class A. It will be not allowed. This will be not allowed. The properties of class B will be not transferred to the class A. Another point you see here, what it is written, class A is base class and B and C are the subclass or the derived class. One thing you remember that in your syllabus, that is 9th, 10th, both the classes in a Java programming syllabus, you are not having any programming on inheritance. Just you remember the concept of inheritance. Okay, so if you revise the things, we can say the inheritance is nothing but the property transfer from the existing class to a new class. Okay, and the new class is known as derived class or subclass, and the class which transfer the property, that is known as superclass or base class. Okay, now just look at the polymorphism. What is the polymorphism? It is also a one principle of Hoops, and the polymorphism is the ability of an object to take many forms. Okay, it is the process of using a functions for more than one purpose which may behave differently for different object. The word poly means many, morphism means form. Okay, so what it is saying, that one function and which can be used for more than one purpose. बहुत सारे काम के लिए एक ही फंक्शन यूज हो सकता है, एंड वो बिहेव करेगा डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट के लिए डिफरेंट वे में, डिफरेंट मेथड में. जैसे कि आप देख रहे हो मिल्क, it is a single entity but it can consume in different form such as curd, cheese, cream. So milk is one product, it is a single entity but in behave or it is used in the different way. It can be used as a milk, it can be used as a curd, it can be used as a cheese, it can be used as a cream. Okay, so what happened in the object oriented programming? So here who behave in the different way? The method or the functions. Okay, suppose my method or in a program the method is the area. Okay, so the area method, the method is one, the name of the method is area, but it is used for or behave for different object as a different way. Just like for rectangle it is calculate the rectangle of area, for circle it is calculate the area of a circle, for square it is calculate the area of a square. Okay, so but method is one, the method is one, that is area, but it is behave for different way for the different object. Okay, so this polymorphism principle implements the function overloading. When you learn the functions chapter, that time you can learn how it is implements the function overloading. That means one function having the one name, same name, and it is will be used in the more than one purposes. Okay, so already we discussed the area method. Okay, it is one method and it is behave different way for the different object. So area is same to calculate the area, but for the rectangle it is calculate different way, length into breadth. For a triangle it is different way. For the circle it has to be calculate in the different way. Okay, but method is one. Now another example you can understand here. Suppose there is a functions called bank interest functions, okay, which has to calculate the bank interest for the people. So there are two categories of people, general people and the senior citizen. You know, the senior citizen having different interest rate for getting, okay, from the general people they are differ getting the interest, okay. So if the ordinary people or general people call the bank interest functions, and they get the one value, and if the senior citizen calls the functions bank interest functions, they will get the different value, okay. So the this is the polymorphic behavior of the bank interest functions. It will be behave different way for the general people and different way for the senior citizen, okay. Now I think all of you are clear about this explanation video. From this explanation video you already got the idea what is abstractions. Abstractions means essential feature you have to include and excluding the background detail. जो चीज़ ज़रूरत है उसको इंक्लूड करना प्रोग्राम में, और जो चीज़ ज़रूरत नहीं है उसको इंक्लूड नहीं करना है। जैसे कि आपका मान लो एक स्टूडेंट का रोल नंबर, नेम और मार्क हमें ज़रूरत है, बट उसका हाइट और वेट हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है, ओके। सेम थिंग उसमें क्या होगा, जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन डिटेल, जो प्रोसीजर मेथड कैसे आपको एग्जीक्यूट होते हैं उसको जानने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है यूजर को, ओनली दे हैव टू नो द आउटपुट और द रिजल्ट. Next comes to the what? Encapsulations. What is the encapsulation? It is binding the data and method together, and data only access to the proper functions or method, and it's prevent, encapsulation prevent the data from the unauthorized access or misuse by using the class concept. Okay, class hiding the details of the implementation of the object and the method. Okay. Third word comes, that is the inheritance. Inheritance, what it is? Transferring the properties of one class to another class. Okay, एक class दूसरी class को जो जो property transfer करेगा, that is the method, the procedure or the technique is called as the inheritance. Okay, inheritance. So what is the implementation of inheritance in object oriented programming? Reusability of the code. बार बार एक चीज को हम use कर सकते हैं. ओके, बट ए प्रोग्रामिंग वी डोंट हैव टू डू. जो द क्लास विच ट्रांसफर द प्रॉपर्टी, दे आर नोन एज द सुपर क्लास और बेस क्लास. जो प्रॉपर्टी ले रहा है, द क्लास विच एक्वायरिंग द प्रॉपर्टी, दे आर नोन एज द डिराइव्ड क्लास और सब क्लास और चाइल्ड क्लास ऑल्सो. ओके, and the last one is what? The polymorphism. The polymorphism implements the function overloading also. Okay, and the polymorphism, what it is? One function or method behave in the different way for the different object. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.